How you doing, Professor Barnes and class? This is Mahmood with another response video. After reading Metaphors We Live By, I found a few passages that I wanted to look at again. The first of which comes on page 5. It reads, "The essence of metaphor is understanding and experience one kind of thing in terms of another." So, at first glance, it's kind of obvious what this says. Everything is contextual. We need context to understand uh, what one word may mean in terms of its definition. Sometimes definitions aren't exactly in the words, but in the context that they come about. Um, in today's world, the prevalence of metaphors is so high that it's true that it goes unnoticed. You may have to think about what you said after you said it. I know that sounds kind of weird, but if you become a little more self-aware, you'd understand what I'm saying. For example, in your podcast today, Professor Barnes, I noticed that you did the same thing. Near the end, I think it was about the 31-minute mark, you went about saying you hoped that what we seen was eye-opening, and that was an optical metaphor. And immediately after, you noticed it. And see, I don't know if that was on purpose or by accident, but I noticed that you noticed that you used a metaphor, and if it was by accident, that would further emphasize my point that sometimes we don't notice the use of our metaphors. It's interesting to me because the use of metaphors and statements and just modern day dialogue, when we talk to each other, it's so crazy how it's nonchalant. I think it's because people don't understand that it's a metaphor. And the second passage also is on page 5. It reads, "Imagine a culture where an argument is viewed as a dance. The participants are seen as performers, and the goal is to perform in a balanced and aesthetically pleasing way." So, arguments today, we know they're seen to be as war, as the text said. So, when we say argument, we look at that concept in with straw vision. We don't think of it as something such as a dance where everybody is having fun, everyone is loose, the environment is happy. You know what I mean? And just as a third passage, I wanted to look at your podcast, in specific near the 29-minute mark, where you read that the future is forward, the past is backward. We spatialize time, looking forward to it, looking back on it, what lies ahead, what's in front of us, no looking back, new horizons, between now and then, timelines, lengths of time. Again, this is by the 29-minute mark. You said, and it's kind of understood that time can be a metaphor, saying we look we look forward to it, we can't look back. There's timelines, and that it's spatialized. But in a quite literal sense, what is time? I believe time is space. How do we measure time? We measure time through space. How fast the Earth revolves around the sun, its spatial position in space. So, it's kind of interesting to see how I can see how it's a metaphor for sure, but there's definitely a literal sense to time because time is in fact space, and when we say that that's a metaphor, we kind of leave room for blind spots, and that's just my take on today. And thank you.